Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the NXT review for the 31st of August 2010. As mentioned, we're going through the NXT versions of things step by step. I'm going to have all 500 probably by the end of summer, beginning of fall, something like that. That's the goal anyway, and then we'll move on to another series. I am going to go back to the other series, but this caught my attention. I had a DM about, hey, what would it be like to have all NXT up? And I did not realize that all NXT included this reality show knockoff concept. Probably would have said no had I realized it at the time or had I been paying attention. Miz comes out with his Money in the Bank briefcase. Can't believe they've done that concept for over 10 years now. Michael McGillicuddy out with Kofi Kingston. The other eliminated pros, which never makes sense to me that the other eliminated pros are back for the final show of the season. I don't really understand why they broke it down into seasons. Maybe because it was an internet show and they were trying to market it somewhere. Who knows? Anyway, upcoming all-female cast for season 3. Good news is I'm pretty sure that season 4 is the last elimination style. Anyway, the highlights of future talents coming in are there. Rookie Naomi is here. Kelly is her pro. And we get a multi-person match with various of the pros and the wonder that is everything else. Three-way there with the three remaining contestants, as it were. So Alex Riley, Kaval, and Michael McGillicuddy in a three-way. Certainly giving them an advantage. McGillicuddy comes out kind of looking ahead here in the competition from a wrestling standpoint, although Kaval, having more than a decade of experience, does a double jump mule kick and a spinning heel kick. I will say Kaval, aka Loki, has a very unique offense for the time, which has been popularized by the rise in martial arts movies throughout the 70s and 80s, which I do think translates well. Riley takes advantage of both guys kind of going at each other extra hard. Fro's on the outside looking nervous, so there's good, I guess you'd say, gimmick work there, just from the standpoint of them looking like they care, which I think makes a difference when you're trying to get that across to a watching audience for sure. McGillicuddy comes in from behind, kind of tries to pair off with Kaval wherever he can. And again, the match goes a little longer than necessary. I'm not necessarily, as I've mentioned, a fan of three-way matches. Alex Riley kicks his opponent, kicks Kaval in the head, and then goes after McGillicuddy. And obviously, Miz is very happy with O'Reilly here. And then we see an almost pin by Kaval on his adversaries here. Pulls the man back up. Kaval and McGillicuddy hang out, and one thing that Kaval does really well is strikes. The strikes are pretty consistent. They're pretty good, and ultimately things are there. And we go into the Dragon Sleeper type maneuver, and then the top rope double stomp, finishing their opponent here, and ultimately that looks like it's going to be advantageous. However, Riley sneaks in after pushing Kaval off the top rope and outsmarting everybody and getting a win. Alicia Fox is going to be a pro next season. Don't really understand what they ever saw in her. No offense to her as a person, I just didn't get it. Maxine, who I remembered from watching the show at the time, but had completely forgotten about till watching the show again. She's basically kind of doing a preppish sort of gimmick. Then they show Goldust. Goldust is going to be a pro, which, considering that he now in AEW legitimately trains the women, that's kind of cool. They give him Oksana, which is they say Lithuanian, don't know if that's what she actually was. lady pro, and they basically build a storyline around her. Although she doesn't survive, the other pros don't seem to care who wins. I don't understand the bringing them back on TV just to give them TV time. Maybe before they send them back down to developmental or whatever the case may be. Alex Riley basically says he's destined to win, but winds up getting himself in a rough go of it and getting eliminated. He basically cries conspiracy, and away we go here. Miz is surprised. Riley doesn't. Riley's still arrogant about it. Miz is much more surprised than not. Bella Twins are going to manage a pro going forward, and I believe that's AJ Lee. AJ Lee, obviously, one of the better women to come out of WWE in a long time. Kaval ends up winning the whole entire competition, which is interesting because he doesn't last on the main roster very long. Alusha is here. I don't even remember her being on the main show, but needless to say, Kaval winning gets everyone excited. McGillicuddy says that Kaval does not appreciate the opportunity, continues to jump out his adversary. There's a brawl with some pros and everything to end the season. Kaval gets laid out by McGillicuddy, and Alex Riley comes back in. Everybody separates out. I don't know how this is supposed to make people want to watch more. Also, the pros that have already been eliminated kind of jump into things, and it looks bad. I mean, it looks like this is amateur hour. They do a several minute highlight film of the whole entire season. Not sure how that's supposed to make people want to watch the next one, but it is what it is. But we will return with more for the next season going forward here on the channel, and we'll be back right after this.